What's happening? It's John from Long Island punk band Wrecked. It's Thursday, the 21st of April. Don't forget, this Saturday, the 23rd of April, we're going to be playing at Mr. Beery's, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation benefit concert. I've been looking forward to this one. We go on at 12:30. That's in the afternoon. Nice and early. Get in, get out, you know. So we're going to be playing, there's a shit ton of bands. So if you don't even get to see us, come down there. You'll see Demon Scar's playing, Pilot Program's playing, Scapository's playing, Steven and Not Steve's are playing. I mean, every band that I could think of that's any good is playing. So check it out. And then we got another gig next week on the 30th at Rams out in Holbrook. I'll put another video up before that, but contact us. That's a ticketed show, so come check us out and let us know if you need tickets. Anyway, moving forward, this is the guitar I want to show you. I'm going to be playing this on Saturday, partly because it's the only guitar that's really staying in tune at the moment and behaving. So, anyways, it's a 2013 Gibson Flying V, Grace Potter Signature Series. Before I get into the specs on this, I just want to talk a bit about about the Flying V. Gibson came up with the Flying V in, I think, 1958, along with the Explorer. And a third design called the Moderne. They didn't make that one, though. That didn't see production until like 82. Some people tell you they made a few of them. I don't think they did, but either way. They were having problems with Fender guitars, and Fender guitars were outselling them. So Gibson said, hey, we got to do something. So they tried to add to their catalog with these two models that were really radical designs for then, you know. It was the Flying V and the Explorer. I've won an Explorer. It's a decent guitar. But they had hired a guy, Ted McCarty, who was I think he worked in the automobile business. They tried to get him to come design some guitars for them, and he came up with the three designs, and they produced the Flying V and the Explorer. 58 and 59 is when they made them. After that, they didn't really make them anymore. I think that they had spare parts, and they kept making them maybe until like the early 60s, 63 or so. But in mass production, they didn't make, because they didn't sell. And I can see why. It's a radical design for then, even for now, you know. But people weren't really into it. They didn't sell. But if you can get your hands on one of those guitars, I mean, they're phenomenal. They weren't made out of mahogany. They were made out of a limbo wood, which they called Carina wood. So if you get your hands on one of those, you got something. They reproduced them, re-released them in the 80s. I mean, you can get one, but though even the reissues are pricey. They didn't start making them again until 1967, but that's what this model is based on, a 67. The 59s and 58s and the reissues were different than this, and the fact that they didn't have the stop bar tailpiece. They had a V Cadillac piece. They called it the Cadillac tailpiece, looking like the hood ornament of a Cadillac, and the strings came through the body like a Telly, like a Fender Telecaster, you know. See, the strings are through the back, not through the body, right? Knob layout was a little different. They were in a line, three in a line. The toggle switch, I think, was over here. Input jack was down here, which is great. Out of the way, it was nice. But like I said, when they reproduced them and reissued them in 67, redesigned them as with this bigger pickguard and control layout like this. Just to get briefly into my first obsession with the Gibson Flying V, and I've mentioned the story before, but anyways, when I don't know, it's probably about 7 or 8 years old, I saw a video of Quiet Riot, and their guitar player Carlos Cavazo, he had a white Gibson Flying V, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm like, man, look at this thing. It was so rock and roll, so cool looking. And in all the magazines, he played one. K.K. Downing from Judas Priest, he played a red one. And another guy, Wolf Hoffman from Accept, he played a white V, and I was like, man, I gotta get into this, man. And I've wanted one ever since. And over the years, you had James Hetfield, he played a Gibson Flying V, a white one as well. It wasn't a real Gibson, it was a Japanese copy from a company, Electra, but either way. It had a Gibson logo on the headstock, and I wanted one so bad. I still would love a white one, or one of those 57 or 58, 59 Carina Flying Vs. I'd love one of those, but either way, that was my obsession with the V, you know. And a lot of people, like guys like Randy Rhoads, he had a polka dot Flying V built by a guy, Carl Sandoval. And then, Jackson made Vs, BC Rich made V's, ESP made V's. Everybody did it. So, but yeah, nothing. I always like the Gibson V, and like I said, this is a 2013 Gibson Grace Potter signature Flying V. Now, if you don't know who Grace Potter is, I wouldn't blame you. She's a singer, not much of a guitar player. She had a band called Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. They had a couple of minor hits in the late 2000 or early 2010s, I'm going to say. But she quit that band and went out on her own. And I don't really love her music. She's got a great voice. Seen her live once and a really great performance. She played this guitar, you know. But she doesn't really play much. I think she just strums it or mimes it. But I guess Gibson thought it was a good idea. I saw it, and I didn't give a shit whose name is on it. Her name's not on it, but it's her guitar. It was the coolest V I'd ever seen, you know? I mean, you have the finish it's dirty as hell, I'm sorry. But if you see the finish, it's called Nocturnal Brown. It's almost like an ox blood. Not black, like an ox blood. Cream pickguard, control layout, 1 tone, 2 volume. Here's your toggle switch, input jack. Pickups are a Gibson's latest versions of that PAFs, which they call burst buckers, and they're great. They're nice and hot pickups. Mahogany body, 3-piece mahogany body, mahogany neck, Chechen fingerboard, which is, again, when Gibson got in trouble with the Rosewood, they went to other materials. Chechen was good, no problem. Headstock is the pointier version. They have one that's a little more rounded, like the ones now. But this was cool, you know. It's light. I first got this in 2013, and I've loved it ever since. It's the only one, like I said, that's currently behaving, so I'm going to be playing it on Saturday. It's a great guitar. I don't really have much else to say about it. The neck is nice and thin. The back, if you can see, well, you probably can't, but see, it's a 3-piece body. See see a seam there, 2-piece, then 3rd here. So, yeah, there you go. They can see it a little better. I don't know. Some people are bothered by the fact that, you know, you use so many pieces of wood and there's glue joints and all this other stuff, and I get it. I'm with you on it. Could they find a piece of mahogany that was this big? Probably, but again, it's more cost effective to find some scraps on the floor, glue them together, and make a V out of it. Put a cap. I think this is a maple cap. I'm not sure though. But either way, it's a great guitar, and it's going to be like I said, we're going to play it this Saturday. And we'll hope for the best. So thank you for watching. Please do come out and see us on Saturday. And again, if you don't even get a chance to see us, come to the other bands and support the cause, because you know, Beery's has been I think this is their 30th year of doing this or something like that, 29th year maybe. And he's a local, you know, a local establishment that's been around, and he always supports the original music scene on Long Island. I mean, you can go to anywhere else and hear some garbage cover band, tribute band. Come to Beery's, you're going to hear stuff you might not have heard before, which, in my opinion, sometimes is, you know, something to be said for it. You know, people still making music. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. See you on Saturday, hopefully. And then if I don't see you then, talk to us, message us about the show on the 30th at Rams out in Holbrook. It is a ticketed show. I think we're going to be playing with a My Chemical Romance tribute band is the main headliner of that show. So it is a ticketed show, so let us know if you want tickets. So there'll be more details next week. I'll put that up on the Instagram and the Facebook. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.